The male lead's cop friend asks the male lead to meet up him to a meeting. So the male lead shows up to this meeting, and the cop friend shows him a videotape. This videotape is a videotape of the adopted daughter that is missing. You know, the old man who was searching for his daughter, and she had gone missing after she was supposed to go to college, and she never showed up again, and he was horrified, couldn't find her, didn't know where she was. Yes, that same girl. This is a videotape of her explaining about experiments, inhuman experiments that were being done on people. And she was about to be experimented on, and this would be her last videotape. She'd been making several videos, but they're all gone. And it's especially obvious that this video had been edited by somebody. The male lead questions his friend where this friend got this videotape from, and his friend tells him somebody sent the videotape to him. And the handwriting on the videotape was the same of his dead brother's. Yes, remember, the cop friend has a dead brother who used to kind of work with the male lead's parents, and he died sometimes afterwards. So he's hoping that this might prove that his brother is still alive, but the male lead was the guy who checked out the dead body. So he's like, yeah, no, it cannot be your brother. And he brings up that the cop friend of the male lead's parents, who has a high position now, he has an informant when it comes to this case. So the informant could be actually his brother, but the male lead has to remind him to come back to reality, that this informant is not his brother, that the person who sent the tape to him was not his brother, because if his brother had something like this, he would have sent it to the police a long time ago, or a trustworthy police officer a long time ago. He wouldn't wait until his little brother became a cop. So yes, it was just a very sad situation. I really badly felt bad for his cop friend, because this dude was just really hoping his brother was still alive. But the question is, who had the tape and who sent it to the cop friend? Why does it have the brother's handwriting on it? Why is it showing up now? Why is it edited? Like, I have so many questions that has not yet to be answered. Main character, being the little jealous devil he is that drinks Vigener out of barrels, is not pleased that the male lead went and visited his friend without informing him that he was going to visit his friend. Like, he's not happy about it. He shows up at the location. He's like, I'm here to pick you up. I've been waiting forever. I've been getting tickets over this. And the male lead's like, yeah, I'm not going with either one of you. I'm going home on my own. So he goes home on his own by taking a taxi. And I was clapping him for it. And the main character stays back long enough to basically go, that man's mine, to the friend. But he doesn't outright state that. He just goes, like he's just being huffy about it. And then he drives off. And I thought that was hilarious. Now, there was an actual reason why the main character went after the male lead. It wasn't just because he was a jealous little devil that was drinking Vigener out of barrels. It's because he had something he wanted to show the male lead. So they go to the male lead's dormitory, and there a humongous show off goes off. Basically, a band starts performing music, a little soundtrack, fireworks are going off, candles are set. Like, this is a huge thing to reveal love, romantic feelings, and to celebrate the male lead's birthday. And it's not actually the male lead's birthday, it's the male lead's rebirth day. And the main character wanted to celebrate it with the male lead. And the male lead's like, oh my god, seriously? This is why you never had boyfriends or girlfriends before, because you do stuff like this. You pull stuff like this. No one will date you if you do this. I'm like, dude, he was pulling stuff like this when he thought he had feelings for your sister. He had full-on plans to literally imprison her on a ride to keep her to his side. Like, this man is crazy when he tries to show his affections. He can't be a normal about it. He's never a normal about it. He's just really, really out of it. He's literally crazy when he wants to show his affections. Obviously, the fireworks, the candles, and the band gets basically shut out by the security because the dude's like, you can't do stuff like this. go home, go away, bye-bye. So everything gets basically shut out. And the main character is disappointed at it, but the male lead's like, finally, it's over with. I'm done with this. But the celebration is not over with just because all of that got shut out. The main character still has something really sweet, which was a cake from the male lead's favorite cake bakery when he was a child, the cakes that his parents used to get him. The main character got exact cake for him and bought one of those musical flower candles for the male lead, and the male lead has a very sweet moments of thinking of his parents and his father figure. Like, it was just a really sweet moment, and I was really pleased that the main character did all this for the male lead. But at the same time, it was embarrassing. Like, I was getting secondhand embarrassment for the male lead. It was the same from Heaven's Official Blessing when the male lead releases all those lanterns for the main character. Yes, that was sweet, but that was secondhand embarrassing. That was just embarrassing. So Wattpad-y. And this was kind of Wattpad-y too. The main character was also upset because the restaurant the male lead took the cop friend to was the same restaurant the male lead took him to for their quote-unquote first date after he revealed his feelings to the male lead. He wanted to take the male lead on a date, and the male lead's like, oh, we're going together to talk about the case. Nothing more, nothing less. But in the main character's Delulu head, it was a date. And he wanted to take the male lead to a certain restaurant, a very expensive high-rise restaurant, and the male lead was like, no, we're going to a restaurant mostly for people around my age. And they went to that restaurant, and it was the same restaurant the male lead later takes the cop friend to. The male lead does inform the main character of what he talked with his cop friend, so do not worry about it. He does inform the main character of this because they don't keep information from each other when it comes about the case. Because again, they're working both together on this case. So remember the videotape that was found on the actress's body that's been being worked on and fixed so they can see the evidence on the tape? Yes, one of the forensic cops was paid off to hand over the evidence to the buyer. And he wants that payout. He wanted the riches. He wants the connections. And he's not been able to get any of those three in the position he's been stuck in for years. So he takes that payout, even though he knows this is a high-rise case. This is a very dangerous case. This is the piece of evidence they need for this case. He's just going to hand it over for that big, huge payout. Well, after drugging his teacher, his boss, and sending the person off, he decides to check what's on the tape himself because he really wants to know what's so worth on this tape that someone's willing to pay a lot of money for. Why is this tape so important for this case? So he checks on it and sees the face of the male lead's parents' friend. You know, the dude who's basically an uncle to the male lead. The dude who's been there since the get-go of this case, been there since the death of the male lead's parents. Yeah, he's on this tape, meaning he's working for the bad guys. I never saw this coming. I was not expecting this. And after this guy sees this is when the uncle dude walks in and sees him looking at the tape and goes, oh, you saw that, didn't you? And I'm like, oh no, this dude is gonna die and the tape is gonna disappear. Like, this dude, it shouldn't have been a shocker. It shouldn't have been a shocker. It's now so obvious that this dude is the bad guy. Like, it's so freaking obvious. Like, I can't believe I did not see that.